Hey everyone, BNSF 9382 here with a weekend update. As you can see in this opening shot, I picked up a new locomotive last weekend and kind of wanted to show that to you. This is a Athearn Genesis GP38-2 Sioux line, painted, nicknamed the Bandit paint scheme. I wanted a new 4-axle locomotive to run with my Burlington Northern, and I really liked the paint scheme on this, so I picked it up Saturday from Arnie's train store up in Westminster, I think it is, up in Anaheim area, up towards LA, about an hour north of where I am. But I went up there last Saturday and bought a few things. So here's the first thing that I picked up. Pretty typical Athearn Genesis model, very detailed, runs great. I did buy it as a DCC ready version, and I just put in a mobile decoder in it. And always not too worried about sound, so we'll get this thing running and move on and show you a couple of the things that I picked up. All right, let's move on. Real quick, here's the box. Again, pretty standard Athearn Genesis. Again, I think this is a fairly new release, but really like the paint scheme on this. And real quick, here's the mobile decoder that I put in it. All right, moving on to the next addition. As you know, I'm always working on my background area here, so I picked up this building. Very simple. As you can see, this building is not very deep, so I did do some kit bashing on it to make it a little bit deeper to fit where I wanted it to go. But again, very simple instructions. There's the part number, and bear with me. Alright, here's the newest addition to the background scene. Again, very simple, basically just one wall with a bunch of windows and doors on it. I did make the the side walls a little bit deeper, and I made the loading docks a little bit deeper as well, so they would fit up closer to the track. But, again, pretty basic slanted roof on the top. No real details on that. But I don't know if we can see it in here, but the depth of the wall, I did make that a little bit deeper. Anyway, here's the paint that I used. This is first time for me using this brand of paint, but this is BNSF Orange. And just a real quick thing here on the back wall. This is pretty much, I hate to say final resting place, but I'm pretty sure this is how these buildings are going to end up staying on the background here. Still working on that peaked roof area there. Sorry, I had some lights out. Probably going to end up at some point replacing this piece that I scratch built. Still not too crazy about that. Okay, this is try to answer a question I had on my last video. One of the subscribers, I forget his name, asked me how far this track was from the wall. That's a difficult decision to make, I think, depending on what you want to do, but I started with this building because of the drive-through access, and that is how I determined how far this track was going to go from the wall. So let's see if I can do this without shorting out the track. But I think this is 3.5 inches, give or take, to the center of the track from the wall. So again, I would, because this was the first building I had, I centered this track and then I ran that track straight parallel to the wall. Now, almost every one of these buildings, Walther's buildings, I did something in here to make them wider or narrower to get the loading docks, you know, a decent proximity to the track. So I either widened the loading dock or widened the building or whatever the case. So you can see on this building, if you go back and watch some of my older videos, you can see that this loading dock is very narrow. I scratch built this dock just to fit into the space, so the box cars would fit in here. And again, this loading dock is pretty much scratch built to fit into this space. The newest building, I used the docks that came with the kit and I made them wider to fill in the space. So it's definitely a consideration on how far you want to put a track from the wall. But hope that answers your questions. And anyway, let me know what you think, and within a week or so, hopefully I get a few more things done and we'll get another video up. So anyway, that's about it for now, and we'll go get this posted and get back to work on a layout. So anyway, BNSF 9382 out.